Happy New Year. I want to give you some food for thought today. A thing, no turning back. Okay, we finished 2024, but as we look to 2025, I have this little word of encouragement to set the tone and stir up a perspective to keep you moving forward. Philippians 3:12 through 14 reminds us of this, that we're not there yet, or have I become perfect, but I am charging on to gain anything and everything the anointed one, Jesus, has in store for me. And nothing will stand in my way because he has grabbed me and he won't let me go. Brothers and sisters, as I said, I know I have not arrived, but there's one thing that I'm doing. I'm leaving my old life behind, putting everything in line for this mission. I am sprinting toward the goal that counts, to cross the line, to win the prize, to hear God's call to resurrection life found exclusively in Jesus. So here's Paul. He's forgetting about his past. He is straining to what is lying before him. And you and I, as we look to 2025, I want to encourage you and stir you up that you will not turn back, that you will keep moving forward. Now, many of you have made resolutions or getting ready to do so. And I read that in America, 25% of us blow or discard the resolutions the first day because change is difficult. And even people who want to change will most likely fall back into old patterns and not make that change permanent. Now, one reason for that is, who are they surrounding themselves with? And maybe that's something to put as a decision, as a resolution for 2025. Who are you hanging around with? Are you still hanging around with old relationships or life patterns that will not recognize you to change and to be all who God's inviting you and stirring in your heart of hearts to become? You know, it's far easier to change when you make a clean break and get that fresh start. And then no one knows those old mistakes or the ways you used to be. In fact, my father, when he made a decision, the revelation of that he's a new creation, he moved from California to Texas and started brand new. Sometimes the changes that we make are not as significant as that, moving from one state to another and finding a different job. But it might be as simple as what you are going to do with your time when you're not at work. Who are you going to spend it with? Maybe it's time to get involved in January. Numerous churches and individuals use this time for prayer and fasting. Or maybe it's getting ready to sign up for that next Bible study as they open up. Or maybe possibly leading one. One reason permanent change does not stick is we don't stick with the decisions and choices that we make. So Paul, for example, he had everything going for him from a human point of view. He was the guy, right? He had it all. But nothing he could do could make him right in God's eyes. He had to change his perspective. He had to reframe his thinking. And it's important that you and I, as we look to this new year of 2025, how are we going to go about reframing our perspective, the way we look at ourselves? Are we looking at ourselves from a human point of view or from God's? You know, Christians, we've all been given this goal to know Christ, to be conformed to him. And just as Paul had to change his orientation, we need to change ours too. So as we fixate on past decisions, choices, it prevents us from focusing on today or even tomorrow. We need to refuse to go back. We need to decide there's no turning back. And just like Lot's wife, who yearned for the old life, when God was trying to move her forward, we have to choose that we're not going to be like that. I'm reminded of the Spanish conquistador Cortez. Now, some say, he burned the ships, others said they scuttled, but nonetheless, there's something we can glean from the story. Those that were with him, they wanted, and there were 2 mutinies that he had to quell. And how he did it was he scuttled the ships. He wanted them to know that there was no turning back, that we're going to achieve this goal, we're going to pursue our quest here. And even though it was dark and maybe the mentality was a little off, there's something we can learn from that. And that was, he made a decision, we're not going to go back. That's not an option. And when you choose that there's no option of turning back, that you're going to move forward, like it says in Philippians 3, Paul reminds us that he's sprinting only to the goal that counts, that he's going to cross that line and win the prize that God has ordained for him. You and I, we need to have that same intention. And as we look to 2025, as we start this brand new day, we need to make a choice that we're going to move forward, move on to what all God has. And we need to rid ourselves from patterns, possibly people, and other choices that we've made in the past. It's time to get rid of them to start fresh and new in our 2025. It might mean shaking free. And I love, we know from the shackles, from the songs, they're reminding us that we have been set free. And we can walk in that freedom each and every moment. Brand new freedom, brand new moment, because he makes all things new. So 2025 is here. Let's admit that it's time for change. Let's go ahead and let's put down our goals, our life decisions that we feel God is stirring. It might be one word that God is putting in your heart to propel you into this new season that he has for you. And no matter what, refuse to let anything pull you back. Walk in that freedom, that newness that comes from your life following Jesus, and decide that it's a brand new day. His mercies are new. It's an opportunity to embrace that the old has passed away, and behold, all things have become new. That perspective is yours in Christ. And I pray that will be what will energize you in the choices that lie ahead. Happy New Year. God bless you.